Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new, hi, hello, my name is Amber. It's nice to meet you. So a lot has happened. We're in the middle of elections. Election day happened a couple days ago. Hopefully I get this video up before the polls have ended and like they've counted all the votes, and we'll get into that mess. I just want to put out a disclaimer that I am not CNN News. I am not advocating for Trump. I'm not on any side of anything. I'm just giving you guys information. So please don't come at me with that. But let's get started. So, election day was Tuesday. With the whole coronavirus situation, they had to do mail-in votes. Pretty obvious. People aren't gonna go out to vote if they're really scared, if they aren't allowed to go outside their house. No, it's just scary, you know? Like, you can catch it, and like, it's getting a lot worse right now. In case you guys haven't realized, numbers are rising right now. The US has this many cases and this many deaths. Deaths aren't that bad, honestly, but it is going around and it's bad. So, FYI, wear a mask, socially distance yourself from people. People aren't gonna go in to vote. Like, that's just a given. If you don't want to give them the option of mailing ballots, people are probably not gonna vote. Majority of people. They might, actually. They might go out, some of them, but most of them won't, even if it is such an important thing. People have a right to say who they want as their president, what they stand for, and that is what voting is all about. You know, you can't just go out and vote for a person because they're Democratic or they're Republican or whatever. You know, you're voting for what they're standing for. And that's important because that reflects on what you want happening in your country, aka United States of America. So it's very important, you know, and mailing ballots isn't terrible, but going into issues, President Trump went out technically the day after elections, so that Wednesday at around 2 a.m., and he said that this is all a fraud, that those votes shouldn't be counted because they were counting them after election day ended. Votes that come in after election day 100% shouldn't be counted. You know, there's a reason why that date's set, just like tax day. Like, you have to turn in your taxes before then. But these votes were turned in before, okay? And if they're turned in before, those people have a right. They have a right to get their voice heard or their ballots heard, whatever. And honestly, yeah, it's taking a really, really long time to count all the ballots, but it's a long process for those people. And these people are sitting there during this pandemic, which also it's becoming an endemic now. Like, what? They're sitting there and they're counting each ballot. They have to think about it. You have an envelope. One, you have to open the envelope. You have to take the paper out. You have to make sure it's filled out. You have to unfold the paper. And then you have to put it into the machine, flip it around, put it into the machine again, and make sure everything goes into the system. Like, it's not a simple process of just like 1, 2, 3. No, it's not that simple. We can all count. That's not an issue. But this has more to it than just counting. So Trump's allegations, I mean, they could be true. Maybe people are just like randomly putting in other ballots and like trying to get one party more votes or whatever. Could be true. But at this point, there's no evidence of that. And I mean, looking at how things are going, Trump's probably going to have them recounted anyways. And he does currently have people watching the people who are counting the votes. And some people don't like that. Some people are fine with it. I don't get why it should be an issue, honestly. But if he wants that, I mean, go for it. There shouldn't be anything wrong happening anyways. So stopping the polls at this time, not okay. The people who already voted should get their voice heard, bottom line. He also said that he was going to go to the Supreme Court. That is a possibility. But the Supreme Court actually told him, no, you have to have people watching them first before we can do anything. And even if he does, I mean, they're gonna have the votes recounted and they're gonna do all those amazing things, and you never know what could happen. On top of that, so he also announced that he's already won the elections. That is not the case right now. Until all the ballots get counted, until all like everything is counted and it's in there and it has been announced who's the president for next year, he can't announce that. That's wrong. Like, he's talking about fraud. That's technically a fraud. Joe Biden, he went out and he was like, you know, I have a good feeling that we're gonna win. Right now, it is chaotic. Like, I've been watching these polls for the past 3 days and President Trump was winning, and now the tables are flipping and Biden's in the lead in some of the states that haven't finished counting their ballot. But even before then, Biden was in the lead without the states who weren't done counting their votes. So I don't know what happened, but apparently most of the mail-in ballots were turning out to be Democratic Party, so we'll see what happens. Currently, Pennsylvania completely switched. They were more towards Republican in the beginning by a lot, and Trump had that in the back of his hand, and now Biden's winning there, so we'll see what happens. No matter who wins this election, there is going to be major chaos, and that is so wrong, you guys. You don't understand. Like, that is so wrong. Why would you do that? Like, whoever wins fair and square. Now you deal with it for the next 4 years until the next election. I'm not saying who should win. I'm not saying one is bad, one is good. Like, that's on you guys. That's what you believe, okay? It's what your beliefs are. If Trump wins, President Trump wins for the next 4 years, it is what it is. We can't go out and just have a purge. Like, no. I'm not prepared. All I have is a Nerf gun. President Trump loses, we're gonna go into a civil war. What? Like, why is this happening? We've already been through the Civil War. The whole point of the United States of America, united. We're supposed to be united no matter what happens, but this isn't what's happening right now. Like, everybody is so divided based on what their belief is. Like, that's so wrong. The rest of the world is laughing at us. I don't know if you guys understand that. Like, yeah, you turn on Fox News, you turn on CNN, you turn on NBC, whatever, and you just hear about, like, whatever is happening in the United States of America. But if you turn on any other world news, you're gonna see that the rest of the world is laughing at us. Honey, we don't do that. We don't get laughed at, okay? Violence is not the key, you guys. I don't know who needs to hear that, but violence is not the key. People are always going to have different beliefs from each other, and you're going to get into conflict. You're going to get into disagreements, but violence is never going to solve anything. It's not going to change their mindset. It's not going to change the fact of how they feel. It's just going to create more drama. It's going to create more problems. It's going to create devastation, and we're already so devastated. We still haven't figured out how to deal with this pandemic. There's no medication for it. There's no vaccine for it yet, and now they're saying that it could take up to 2022 for a vaccine to come out. And if that's the case, then we need to wear masks. We need to distance ourselves. If we went down into a complete lockdown in the beginning, maybe this would not happen. And with this pandemic, economically, I'm not making any money, and I know a lot of people aren't. Stores are closing down again. Restaurants are not allowing people in again, so it's a big issue. It was a chain reaction, a domino effect, whatever you want to call it, but it was that. Bottom line, there's more to everything than just you. With this presidency, this election, it's not just all about you. It's not just about what you're thinking. It's about everyone together. With the whole pandemic, think about others too if you're thinking about going out without a mask, okay? Economically, think about others again. If you wear a mask, we can continue living life at least partially normally. This is our new normal for a while now until something happens. With that being said, everybody be nice to each other, please. All right, peace out.